This film is supported in part by a grant from the Arkansas Humanities Council and the Department of Arkansas Heritage, also with the support of the University of Arkansas.
On a chilly Easter Sunday in 1939, Marian Anderson was invited to sing before a hushed and reverential crowd of 75,000 people in front of the Lincoln Memorial in our nation's capital, while hundreds of thousands more listened on the radio. This electrifying event was a watershed moment in civil rights history, bringing national attention to the country's color barrier as no other event had previously done. And Anderson's final song that day was composed by Little Rock native Florence B. Price. This was not the only brush with greatness for Florence Price. As a child, her parents welcomed Frederick Douglass into their home. As a young mother, Florence corresponded with W.E.B. Du Bois, and later still she collaborated with writers Langston Hughes, James Wright, and dancer Katherine Dunham. But the pinnacle of her life's work as a musician and composer must have been that night in 1933 when the world-famous Chicago Symphony, consisting entirely of white men, premiered her Symphony in E minor at the Chicago World's Fair. Even today, this would be a huge achievement for any composer, but at that time it was entirely without precedent that music written by an African-American woman would be presented by such a prestigious orchestra in such a prestigious setting. The poet Paul Laurence Dunbar used the metaphor of a caged bird for the oppression of Black Americans. This is the story of a woman who refused to accept the limited aspirations that were expected of her race and gender, who would not be a caged bird. This is the story of Florence B. Price. Florence Beatrice Price was born in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1887. Her father, James H. Smith, was born in Delaware of free parents and despite racial obstacles, studied dentistry and became Chicago's first black dentist. The Great Chicago Fire of 1871 devastated his office in Chicago's Loop, and rather than start over in Chicago, Dr. Smith decided to relocate to Arkansas.
But my guess is he came here because he saw opportunities here. There were no black dentists in the city, and so he had the field to himself. And once he got here, he prospered. And he did such amazing things. You know, he was a renowned inventor. And his inventions spanned the spectrum from very useful, practical tools used in siding, putting on siding on houses, to a peach pitter, a tool that removed the stone from fruits. So he was an amazing guy. And then an artist. And I've seen one picture that he did, and it was really quite sophisticated. His works were shown at various expositions, both in-state and out-of-state.
Shortly before Dr. Smith moved from Chicago to Little Rock, he married a woman from an affluent Indiana family.
Florence's mother was Florence Gulliver in Indianapolis, Indiana. In Little Rock, she was also very active as a businesswoman and took an active role in community affairs. She clearly encouraged the young Florence to be active and outgoing and to seek out opportunities.
During the Reconstruction era, a number of well-educated African Americans moved to southern cities to find better political and economic conditions. For these African Americans, Little Rock, Arkansas was a beacon of opportunity.